one, check two. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I'm not even going to start with a song. I just want to get right to the piping hot gravy. It's Thanksgiving time, and Thanksgiving is a great time for gravy. All right, I'm going to wait till you guys say that we're here, because usually I just play. That's one of the reasons I play music in the beginning, so I don't just say, am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Because there's always a buffer. All right, guys, I'm extremely excited about today's episode. Episode 999, proof that Donald Trump is Derek Zoolander. This one will blow your mind. Okay, so yesterday people were asking me to do my my Trump impression, and I've never been super comfortable about my Trump impression because I think it sounds too much like Derek Zoolander. So I was like, my name's Donald Trump, okay? I'm really, really stable and a genius, probably the most stable genius you've ever seen in your entire life, okay? I have the deep state, Hillary. I have, of course, Hillary, and then I have, like, all these people that want to take what I have. But I know there's more to life than being really, really ridiculously rich. Okay, I want to fight against the pedophiles in the sewers. And, okay, so and then people are dying laughing. They're like, dude, that's a great Trump impression. I'm like, no, it's too much like Derek Zoolander. And then I realized that's the script we're watching right now. I always think about script writing. And I know that I've talked about this a lot. But guys, like, okay, so Cali Bear made this. So the 2020 presidential debate. So you have Derek Zoolander, which is Donald Trump. I'm really, really ridiculously good at everything. And then you have Joe Biden, who is pretty much Hansel. You know, he's like, come on, man. Way out, far out, man. Far out, bro. Okay, so he's gonna, oh, dude, just wait. Trump is in it. You know how I sometimes say, like, you're in the Bible right now, like you're in it? Dude, Donald Trump is in Zoolander. Let's watch the beginning of Zoolander, and then I'm going to, dude, this episode's gonna blow your mind. Donald Trump, literally everything about him is Zoolander. Hang on, let me just preface this right now. 1 second. So, a lot of people, okay, they don't want to admit that Donald Trump is literally Zoolander, and the orange mocha frappuccino they're referring to is literally Donald Trump. And, like, the key, it's like I'm really smart and really handsome, and all my billions of dollars, okay, I have plump lips, and I'm very firm, except for my butt, because that's plump. Because my plump butt is good at beating Hillary and the deep state and of course Pelosi. And I'm, you know, Joe Biden is like my total nemesis. And but everyone says he's so hot right now, but he's really dumb and like a far out hippie type guy. Oh, you, come on, man. It's like the media hates me, and I know there's more to life than just beating Hillary. Guys, it's insane. Just wait. Okay, for those of you just listening, I have Trump and Zoolander, Trunklander, doing the OU over and over and over and over. Really, really ridiculously good looking in my flannel shirt. Look at my lips. It shows youthful exuberance. Okay, just wait. Watch this. And guys, look at the plot of this movie. It's crazy. So you have the ruling elite trying to figure out who should run for president.
Self-absorbed simpleton who can be manipulated and molded like Jell-O.
Or cookie dough. Later.
Any kind of dough.
The point is, we need an empty vessel. A shallow, dumb, vacuous moron.
And when he's finished, we dispose of him.
But who? I mean, where in all of God's green goodness am I going to find someone that beefhead?
Okay, so let's all speak honestly now. Let's drop the whole he's playing 33D chess for a minute and realize at this point, there's a pretty good chance that it was just about empty vessels. Now, watch this.
Derek, I just have a few more questions, if that's okay.
Cool.
So when did you know you wanted to be a model?
I guess it would have to be the first time I went through the second grade. I caught my reflection in the spoon while I was eating my cereal, and I remember thinking, wow, ridiculously good looking. Maybe you could do that for a career.
Do what?
Be professionally good looking.
Right. What would you say your trademark is, if you have one?
Well, I guess the look I'm best known for is blue.
Okay, so also notice he has dicks on his head. He's a dickhead. Oh yeah, and also notice, what is that, ladies and gentlemen? Hang on. That is a Q-tip. A Q-tip. A tip from Q. Oh no, that's so far-fetched, Big Bear. Just wait, this is just the beginning.
The gunner is dead. We're trying to cover for him.
Okay, so here comes in the Statue of Lucifer, the Statue of Liberty. All right, now guess who's the first person that pops up? It's Trunk! Hey, no way! Guys, okay, so just think about that. So in the introduction of Derek Zoolander, the first person you see, retro causality? No. This is I used to be kind of obsessed with the movie Zoolander. It's hilarious. So the first, I've always remembered this scene. Retro causality, that way no one has free will. Okay, I get it. So the first actor is Donald Jamarcus Trunk. And let me show you another thing that I forgot to put in here. I mean, guys, this is really, really ridiculously crazy. Okay, so what's the plot of Zoolander 1? So Derek Zoolander thinks he wins an award and goes on stage, very cocky, like he just won an award, and Hansel won the award. Who's in the audience in the scene watching? The camera literally goes right to Donald Trump. Okay, never seen the movie, but this is great. Oh, guys, it's crazy. So we're watching Zoolander. So, okay, it starts off with the ruling elite saying, we need someone really, really ridiculously stupid. Oh, you sound like the left. Are you a shill calling Trump stupid? He's Zoolander. So just to usher in some sort of giant crime, and I'll explain the crime too. Classical Learner Bear did an excellent cartoon. Follow him on YouTube, Classical Learner Bear, about the nature of money. And it's called The Bear from Jekyll Island, and it's going to blow your mind. Okay, so the scene is Donald Trump, so Donald Trump is watching as Derek Zoolander, who happens to talk exactly like him with the same mannerisms, goes on a stage to accept an award, and then he realizes he didn't win. And then Hansel goes on stage, who happens to be kind of like, I don't know, like this stoner hippie type that's far out and like probably has dementia. Okay, so that sends Trunk into a spiral. Okay, let's watch a little bit more. This is hysterical. All right, here we go. Thanks to Kyneton Bear for helping me with all these clips.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
We got 30 years worth of files right here in this computer that are gonna bring you down.
Okay, and also, what is Donald Trump dressed as? What is about to come to America? Most likely. Derelict. You guys remember? When they're like, I want you to model it, Derek. He's like, cool. What should I be? And they're like, filthy, disgusting, homeless, poverty people. And he's like, what's it called? And they're like, derelict. Okay, so now Donald Trump is dressed as derelict, a homeless person. What do you think is coming to America right now, guys? Okay, I'll show you some more stuff. What is the thing that cheers up Derek Zoolander?
I guess so.
Know what could really help you sort through these important issues?
What?
Orange Mocha Frappuccino! Yeah!
And so then what happens? He gets all his friends killed. Sound familiar? All of Trump's supporters get kicked off all of social media, pretty much. All his major contributors, all his major allies, everybody gets shut down. They all die in a freak gasoline fight accident. Okay, so all his friends are now dead. And so he then goes to the funeral of all his backers. Check this out.
Rufus, Brent, and Mikas were like brothers to me. And when I say brother, I don't mean like an actual brother, but I mean it like the way black people use it.
Okay, I'm just letting you guys know that this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, and I never realized it was right under our noses. Okay, this is the scene, and I'm gonna do, maybe tomorrow on my 1000th episode, me and Amy might watch both Zoolanders and kind of go through it scene by scene and really do it. Or I might just have an episode where I just talk to you guys and ask any questions or just reminisce about old times. But there's a lot I'm not even getting to. It's just so mind-blowing to me that I don't even know where to start. Okay, so I represent in this script the hand model. I did a stream on Zoolander before because I've always liked this movie. I thought there's a lot of truth in it. You got MK Ultra, you got all this stuff. I didn't realize Donald Trump is Derek Zoolander. So the stand-up comedian understands Hollywood, but isn't one of those guys. So in the movie Zoolander, you have the guy from X-Files who's a hand model, and he's the truther. He's the one telling Zoolander the truth in the cemetery. He's like talking about how every assassination was done by male models. And they're like, and Zoolander's like an idiot, you know? He's like, what? And he's like, I'm not like you, Derek. You know, I'm not one of those face and ass guys. I'm a hand model, Derek. You know, we still have our mind. And that's kind of like a stand-up comedian. It's like, I know the world of male modeling. Like, I know the world of entertainment, but mine is about intellect and pattern recognition. I'm not like a face and ass guy. Like, I'm not retarded. And so I just, Cod put this part together. He just wanted to put together some funny stuff, but watch this.
Wait a minute. No. I know that hand.
He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee.
Okay, so the more I watch this, the more I'm just like, hey, which one's this? Oh, it's not a thing. Okay, so now let's talk about Zoolander 2. And I haven't seen Zoolander 2 yet. But the way these things work is once you realize you're in one of their scripts, here's a scene where Derek Zoolander says, quote unquote, take off the mask. Watch this.
Enemy is hit.
Okay, so the scene gets very funny. I might just keep playing the scene just because, guys, like the Zoolander character to me has always been very, very funny and likable. I think that that's how they tested Trump's character. And guys, if you feel humiliated because you're a big, like, Q-tard or whatever, don't. We've all fallen for shit. At this point, you know, you kind of have to be like, yeah, this might not be what we thought it was. But it's all good. I once dated this girl who was really attractive, and she was literally a model, but she was really dumb. And so I put everything, like, I just kept assuming that what she was saying was some sort of like deep truth, and no one could understand it but me. And she was like retarded, and it ended up being really humiliating, but I faced it at the end. It's one of the first sketches I ever shot was called Pizza, because she thought the letter T was in the word pizza. And you know, all my friends would be like, dude, I said, hey, Tara, who's vice president? And she said, of the world? And I was like, yeah, but she sees stuff, you know? She knows that it's really a world government and there really is no vice president. And they were just like, she said she said tea was in pizza. And I was like, yeah, she might not have known how. She's like, there's signs, my friends are like, there's signs all over town. I'm like, not her town. They're like, all towns. All towns. And so then you have to, and then all the effort you put in to a girl, and then your friends all realize she's literally retarded. You have to just be like, okay, I was wrong. And if you just keep doubling down, it's like tough to watch, you know? But it's all good. I get it. Dude, a month ago, I was like, man, Trunk's really playing a good game here when it comes to COVID. He's going to come out. He's going to tell people zinc and not promote. And he's gonna diffuse the whole spell. Like, dude, I get it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's Derek Zoolander. Guys, listen. I just had COVID and I feel wonderful. Okay, I've never felt more youthful. My lips are plump. I eat a lot of beta carotene, so my eyes are like Bugs Bunny's eyes. And I'm not even mocking him. Like, that's the thing is. He tests very likably. Like, I like Derek Zoolander. I would hang out with Derek Zoolander. He'd be hilarious. You know, and I think the public, I think they tested, because I think Ben Stiller knows a lot about a cult and how the human psyche works and how to, like, play it off each other. Like, and I think they kind of put out Zoolander and Hansel as possibly Trump and Biden. And the fact that in the opening scene, we're going to watch this again in case you guys really don't want to see that there's some parallel here. Guys, Donald Trump himself is the first person you see when Derek Zoolander is introduced.
Self-absorbed,
And watch the Q-tip in his ear.
self-absorbed simpleton who can be manipulated and
Let's
molded.
get this show on the road.
The point is really an empty mess. The show, no, that he was moral.
When he's finished, we dispose of him.
But who? I mean, where in all of God's green goodness am I going to find someone that beefhead?
Derek, I just have a few more questions, if that's okay. What do you know about the model?
I guess it would have to be the first comic in the second grade. The color of fiction was food by cereal. And I remember
Okay, there's the Q-tip in his ear. There's Q in his ear. And if you want to stay in your level, I get it. If you're like, oh baby, you're reaching. How often do you see a Q-tip go in a man's ear in your life on a movie screen? Dispose of him? Yeah, but there's a Zoolander too. They're not killing him, okay? But just watch. It's like it's a script. I'll show you how the world is actually run in a minute. I'll show you what money is and what to prepare for and all that stuff. But this is you're watching a movie. Q told you the truth. That's what makes me actually have some respect for the Q narrative. And I understand why people went along with it, because he said you're watching a movie. You know, hold tight, Patriots. All right, here we go.
you could do that for a career.
Do what?
Be professionally good-looking.
Right. What would you say your trademark is?
Well, I guess the look I'm best
Penetration.
And just he has dicks on his head. He's a dickhead. All right.
And then there's the coffee and the tea room. The tea was a lot softer.
Oh, and bear in mind, it's also black and white. It's like black and white checkered. The colors on him are black and white, and there's a dick on his head.
I don't know, look, I use it for woodwork sometimes.
Can I see that?
All right, there's the Statue of Lucifer, Statue of Liberty, and here comes, who is Derek Zoolander?
Without Derek Zoolander, male modeling would be what it is today.
He is a professional.
Okay, you can't, like at this point, it's like, whoa. All right, now watch this. This is the humiliation ritual in the second movie. And then bear in mind, he's being derelict. The bottom is about to fall out on the entire financial system, in my opinion. People aren't going to realize that's what's happening. They're just going to think the deadly coronavirus is the reason they don't have work. It's
fascinating shit. Spellcraft is very, very interesting.
No, Big Bear. It's all been a horrible misunderstanding. You know the Wuhan flu? I am the only one who's capable of being enough of a rogue renegade to admit it came from China. And because everyone is so into non-white people that political correctness won't let you say that it comes from China, it's the Wuhan flu.
It's nothing. It's nothing. I'm the truther in the cemetery with the how's the hand model.
Guys, okay? No one sees it but me and Q-tips.
All right, check this out. So in episode in the second one, the female models are wearing gas masks. And Biden and Trump are backstage. They finally made an alliance. And they're like, we're gonna go out, after Trump has this heart-to-heart with Biden and says, take off the mask. And then Biden takes off the mask, a little tiny scar. It's a really funny scene. And Derek's like, put it back on! I can't possibly see something so ugly. And so now in season 2, or in the second Zoolander, gas masks, and then they're about to go back to modeling. This is what we're witnessing right now, kind of. All right, watch this. All right, where is this? It's the humiliation ritual, and then the rising of the phoenix, the false god, whatever you want to call it. Could be what happens. Who knows? I think they change their script a lot sometimes, depending on if people figure it out. All right, so because I think it's fun for everybody. It's fun trying to figure out the scripts.
Just put us out there. Let us do our thing.
Come on! Chop! Knee down! Get in! Take off your robe!
Okay, so here's the guy. It's so profound when you see it. You're watching the election right here. So you got the two caskets. The dead, what they believe to be the dead system that's about to be mocked and ridiculed by the Satanists. So this is a satanic event. I tried to limit the exposure to the naked model stuff because there's more of that in the beginning. I don't like, even when showing truth, I don't like exposing that. You saw a little bit of it, but I really wanted to show you the gas mask. But there's a lot more of it in the beginning. So they're wearing gas masks, doing a satanic ritual, which is walking the red carpet, all Satanism, occult bullshit. So now they're about to humiliate Derek Zoolander and Biden, and then out of which rises the phoenix. Watch this.
Derek, I have a really good feeling about this.
I know. I feel so alive.
So now they're put in front of everybody to be humiliated. Because what you witnessed in the election is not an election. It's not who do you pick to be your leader. It's who do you hate more. You're watching a macrocosm. The microcosm is the satanic ritual of the red carpet, the catwalk, whatever it is. Ancient shit, thousands of years. Okay. So what you're watching, what you just watched in the election is just the two old guys, Hansel and Zoolander.
Hello, my name is Don, not Derek. Same person today.
All right, watch this. And then the Antichrist comes down. By the way, you see what's behind that? You got a pyramid with no capstone, and then the two eyes. Dude, I legitimately find Zoolander's character so funny. That's why I like Trump so much. Because it's so innocently retarded. To the point where you start thinking they're geniuses. Where you're like, LeMay, wow, what a really funny guy. Dude, I still find Trump really funny, but it's like,
listen, I'm very handsome and smart and stable, no matter what the deep state or Hillary says, okay?
It's dude. This is the script. So here comes the here comes the solution. Problem, reaction, solution. So then there you have transgender Lucifer whipping them both.
All this done.
Okay, so this is the script, guys. This is the script. It's not even about Derek against Hansel. It's about the entire show. Isn't this blowing your? Is it just me, or is this blowing anyone else's mind?
Listen, I'm really, really ridiculously good at everything and smart, and I am a great businessman.
And Joe Biden's like, "Come on, man. Come on, do some peyote, man. Do some peyote, man. Come on. My name's Joe. Come on. Too late, big guy." And so then the two of them, they have the 3 years of documents in the computer after he becomes derelict.
Derek, what is this? Some kind of school for ants?
So, yeah, I hope that blew your mind as much as it blew my mind. Let's watch this one again. Hang on. So he's derelict, and he can't turn left. He can't turn left or right? The one thing he can't do is turn left.
I can't turn left. The one thing I can't do.
Fucking fascinating. All right, so let me check the chat. See if you guys are enjoying yourselves. So who's gonna win? Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's just a show, and so many people. It can be isolating, but also not, because a lot of people are getting it at this point. They still think that the catwalk is like a competition. No, the catwalk is the thing. And then, this might possibly be my favorite movie breakdown here. Certainly Defiant.
No way. Thanks, man. You know what I mean, man? Like the way black people mean it, which I think is more meaningful.
Israel's the real winner. Dude, it's beyond all that shit.
I'm not an anti-turner. It's the one thing I can't do.
Graver's money hot. Yeah, let's rewatch that one clip here.
Ready to fire. Enemy armor is damaged.
My hand.
And dude, I know there's gonna be people that they're so bought in they can't see it, and I get it, dude. I've been there a million times, dude. I've been there a million times. So here he's derelict. And watch this. Let's just watch this from the beginning again.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
We got 30 years worth of files right here in this computer that are gonna bring you down.
Oh, no.
Down.
Like, it's all so stupid.
But I mean, listen, guys. Listen, I mean, if you don't trust Derek, how are we supposed to get inside the computer? I mean, inside the computer is where all the emails are, and
dude, and it's like, I'll show you what actually matters right now in the political and economic world. And this was done by Brett Pike, who's classical learner bear, and this is a short story for children, and
I recommend you get this for your own children on Amazon Prime or Amazon.com. What is Amazon.net? I bet it's a whole different jungle.
They're retards, guys. Anyway, because it's a great way to show people, show kids. Because right now it's a great time to be alive. Because everything that's going horrifying, you have an opportunity to do something else. Like the food that's bad, grow your own food. The books that are bad. Anybody can sell books on Amazon now.
But the algorithm is not favorable to me.
Dude, when I was a kid, I had to go door to door, knocking on doors, selling newspapers. Now you have access to the entire world. So maybe you have to get your own audience. How hard is that? Like it.
Well, I'm not allowed on social media because after me and Donald Trump's gasoline fight accident, all of his friends were killed.
Just stop, okay? Yesterday I shoveled shit out of a barn of my chicken coop for like hours. My lungs hurt, it stunk, and then I was using it to make soil. Until you've given up a Hollywood movie and TV world, and dude, some people are like, but I got a piece of paper that said I went to college. I got one of those too. It said I was a major in tyrannical government takeover, specializing in World War II. That was my major. I don't even care about that. Dude, I had to give up being like loved by the very warm under that dragon's wing. Until you've given that up to shovel shit for no money, no one wants to hear you complain. And they don't even want to hear me complain. As I'm shoveling shit for no money, and then I have to shovel more shit, and then I have to milk animals, and then I have to be up with a crying baby. Until you do, like, I had my name in lights, I was invited onto red carpets, okay? Until you've given that up, you want healthier food, a healthier mind, a healthier life, a better life for your kids, and you literally find yourself shoveling shit for $0 an hour, no one cares. And even then, no one cares, because then you won't even complain, because you know what you gave up was silly, and what you got in return was wonderful. Okay, I got nothing to complain about. You know, and in fact, a lot of I got a lot of compassion for the small businesses that are dealing with health department fines and lockdown threats and all that. So I got some advice for you guys from a great video, and you know, I'll talk to you about anything you need to know about that. Yes, it would have been a lot easier if you resisted the lockdown the first time that everyone like me was telling you guys to do, but it's never too late. There's never not a way out. So we can talk about that. Was Ira in Zoolander? Yes, it was Ben Stiller's dad. Derek, you're busting my balls. It was like the Zionist, the old Jew in that movie who loved Derek but had to cut him loose. Guys, the entire movie is Donald Trump's life. So you have Netanyahu, who's played by Ben Stiller's dad, who's like, a kaput in a bit. I'm trying to get a tinkle out of my penis. You know, and then he betrays Trunk or Zoolander. It's the same person. Yeah, he grabs models' butts in the movie. Yeah, he's like, a little pinch for the hood. Yeah, he's like a sexual sadist. But it's like the chutzpah, yeah. And then at the end, they come back together. You know, that's when the Antichrist.
Let's go.
Oh, man. So anyway, enjoy this. This is great stuff. All right.
By Brett Pike. Illustrated by Masha Noir. Here is the story of George a Bear, passed down from parents to children with care. He was the captain of a taxi boat. He sailed the water and told funny jokes. Generations of bears enlightened by the lesson he learned on Jekyll Island. George a Bear was just doing his job when he picked up a small group of hogs. The pigs spoke of more than the farm. They desired to take over the farm. A toast and their glasses went clank. They aimed to take over the piggy bank. The farm animals had always traded paper called money, and they backed it with golden bee harvested honey. One piece of paper represented 1 gold honey pound. Money for honey, so the paper was sound. 10 pieces of paper was easy to hold, and was the same as 10 pounds of bee honey gold. Together the pigs forged a master plan to separate money from honey and put control in their hands. They would tell the animals they could all have more money. If the pigs could do a trick that was funny, we will print more and more money, as much as we need. Think of all the animals we will be able to feed. Printing more money comes with one tiny catch. It limits the amount of gold honey you can get. In the past, it was 1 piece of paper for 1 pound of gold. Now your money is worth less as you start to grow old. 1 piece of paper? No, we will need 2 or 3. For 1 pound of honey or buy a bee. It wasn't long until the pigs' plan was achieved, and they still had another scheme up their sleeves. Come, animals, take money, it's free. Well, it's free, but it does come with a fee. We will give you all the money you request. All you must do is pay us back with interest. Want 10 pieces of paper? Sure, just pay us back 12. Anything you need, you can buy it yourself. Sloth took some money just to go lay around. Worm took some money for a big home underground. A chipmunk's house has to be nicer than Worm's, so he filled his home with lights, stone, and diamond-filled urns. Cow bought enough grass to eat till he dropped, and Rooster took chickens to the store to shop. Lions refused to move or to leave, even after they watched their water recede. Red Fox didn't care what anyone did, as long as he could get back at the pigs. Only one animal resisted temptation, desires, and dreams. The bears decided to live within their means. The bears built their homes with blood, sweat, and tears. With grind, they crushed and conquered their fears. While other animals bought the biggest homes they could get, the bears warned them to stay out of debt. Be grateful, work hard, and you'll find success. A bear can have more by living with less. It wasn't until the farm had a drought the animals learned what the bears warned about. Without enough money to pay back the pigs, animals yelled, "The system is rigged." Worm screamed, "Please don't take my home. I promise I will pay back your loans." Grass, lights, stones, diamonds, urns, houses, and cribs, all of it given, taken back by the pigs. Sloth could no longer lay around. Worm could no longer live in the ground. Rooster was left crying alone. Lions were no longer able to roam. Cow was left starving in hunger. Chipmunk had to live with his blunder. The bears would have a big celebration to enjoy the perks of resisting temptation. Family and friends spent the day in the water. They told the story of an old bear from Georgia. If the pigs come around pretending to care, tell them, "I'm sorry, but the market is bare."
Yeah, like that's one of the best children's books I've ever seen. That's one reason why I don't get involved in the political stuff. And people are like, "Big Bear, you gotta rise up." And I'm like, dude, it's over. It's already done. That's a distracting thing to keep your eyes off what is really coming and why. And it does not matter if it's Hansel or if it's Derek. People will then call you a black pillar. Oh, you're a black pillar. You're not going to support Hansel or Derek. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing to do with any of that. And one thing I love about that book, is that he showed the problem with the fox, where he said the fox just wanted to get back at the pig, which is and he showed that, because that's a big thing that I really want to cement and hammer home with all you guys, because if the more people that don't seek revenge and say the system's rigged and nothing's my fault, it was all the pig, you'll only end up in a terrible, terrible, terrible place, and you'll do it to yourself again, because this is the reality. The sins of the father get passed to the son, and sometimes when you realize it can be fun. It's like 1913. You know, those generations, people look back at the 50s and think like, wow, let's get back to there. No, the 50s were terrible, guys. That was when America was being like those farm animals, just living fat on the hog, like it'll never end. And there's a lot of people, millions of people in America that saw through it and did not take the deal. And a lot of people can still get out of it. And even if you're in it, even if you're in debt, just know that accept what's coming and work through it. You know? So morale equals generate, not stagnant and hate. Right. It's like the pigs just did a deal. And so what would the fox get out of attacking the pig? Nothing. Guys, zero reward. Instead of like looking for food in a time of hunger, or instead of admitting what happened and building from it and learning from it, he would just waste himself. The pigs, you know, it just doesn't matter. It's like when someone offers you a deal that goes against your morality. That's why I hammer at Christians. because it's like some of the fundamentals that they've given up. Not only have they given it up, they take pride in giving it up. They say, you know, the banks are great for business. You know, the loans are great for business. It's called cheap debt. It's a tax write-off. It's this, it's that. I'm like, your Bible says it's a sin. And they're like, oh, that old thing that they'll quote when they're trying to hold something over somebody. Of course, they will quote all these biblical verses in order to feel dominant over a better man than them.
Bail out.
And
This vehicle has had it.
but when it comes to the fundamentals of Christianity, they're so lost, a lot of them. And I've done my best trying to hammer that home. I've used Muslims as an example to say they're more Christian than you, and you blame all your problems on them. If only Derek Zoolander will stop immigration, huh? Then all your problems go away. You sure about that? Because I promise you that is insane. It's a level of madness that I hope I never fall for again. All right, I got a bunch of letters here. Let's hammer through these. What is the book name again? It's called, I'm gonna play it again. Let's just play it right again as I open up more of these and organize myself. It's called The Bear from Jekyll Island. And subscribe to Classical Learner. He only has 61 subscriptions, which is insane, because he's like really, really ridiculously handsome and very smart and stable.
Island by Brett Pike. Illustrated by Masha Noir. Here is the story of George Bear, passed down from parents to children with care. He was the captain of a taxi boat. He sailed the water and told funny jokes. Generations of bears enlightened by the lesson he learned on Jekyll Island. George Bear was just doing his job when he picked up a small group of hogs. The pigs spoke of more than the barn. They desired to take over the farm. A toast and their glasses went clank. They aimed to take over the piggy bank. The farm animals had always traded paper called money, and they backed it with golden bee harvested honey. One piece of paper represented 1 gold honey pound. Money for honey, so the paper was sound. 10 pieces of paper was easy to hold, and was the same as 10 pounds of bee honey gold. Together the pigs forged a master plan to separate money from honey and put control in their hands. They would tell the animals they could all have more money. If the pigs could do a trick that was funny, we will print more and more money, as much as we need. Think of all the animals we will be able to feed. Printing more money comes with one tiny catch. It limits the amount of gold honey you can get. In the past, it was 1 piece of paper for 1 pound of gold. Now your money's worth less as you start to grow old. 1 piece of paper? No, we will need 2 or 3 for 1 pound of honey worked by a bee. It wasn't long until the pigs' plan was achieved, and they still had another scheme up their sleeve. Come animals, take money, it's free. Well, it's free, but it does come with a fee. We will give you all the money you request. All you must do is pay us back with interest. Want 10 pieces of paper? Sure, just pay us back 12. Anything you need, you can buy it yourself. Sloth took some money just to go lay around. Worm took some money for a big home underground. A chipmunk's house has to be nicer than Worm's, so he filled his home with lights, stone, and diamond-filled urns. Cow bought enough grass to eat till he dropped, and Rooster took chickens to the store to shop. Lions refused to move or to leave, even after they watched their water recede. Red Fox didn't care what anyone did, as long as he could get back at the pigs. Only one animal resisted temptation, desires, and dreams. The bears decided to live within their means. The bears built their homes with blood, sweat, and tears. With grind, they crushed and conquered their fears. While other animals bought the biggest homes they could get, the bears warned them to stay out of debt. Be grateful, work hard, and you'll find success. A bear can have more by living with less. It wasn't until the farm had a drought the animals learned what the bears warned about. Without enough money to pay back the pigs, animals yelled, "The system is rigged." Worm screamed, "Please don't take my home. I promise I will pay back your loans." Grass, Lights, stones, diamonds, urns, houses, and cribs, all of it given, taken back by the pigs. Sloth could no longer lay around. Worm could no longer live in the ground. Rooster was left crying alone. Lions were no longer able to roam. Cow was left starving in hunger. Chipmunk had to live with his blunder. The bears would have a big celebration to enjoy the perks of resisting temptation. Family and friends spent the day in the water. They told the story of an old bear from Georgia. If the pigs come around pretending to care, tell them, I'm sorry, but the market is bare.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Support that guy. Classical Werner Bear. Brett Pike. Wonderful. That's big. That'll have some ripples in a very, very good way. That's why when people are like, so you don't support Derek Zoolander or Hansel? I'm like, what? So what I recommend, so this is a little advice for people with small businesses. This guy's a champ. It's great advice. And where is it? Oh, here we go. Because the first, it's harder now. All right, so let me just read one letter. It's very short, and it's by Denmark Bear. My lord, I stole this meme on Twitter today. I just had to put it in the glass door at the entrance to our clinic. Hilarious, no despair, no one's having more fun. Denmark Bear. It puts on the face mask. It puts the face mask on its skin, or else it gets phase 1 again. Good job, Denmark Bear. I would actually go to you as my doctor. I think that you're an ethical man. I really would. I mean, I'm not having you check my prostate, but I think that you're an ethical doctor. And in these days, it's not always assumed. So good for you, man. The fact that you, you're a good man. And thanks for the tip for the growl for my babble. All right, so check this out.
What's up, guys? So I had a lot of small business owners reach out to me and ask me the same question. They want to stay open.
And 1 second. Hey, love, can you grab me some coffee? Thanks. I'm almost done. I'm just going to read letters, now we can go do stuff. All right, check this out.
What's up, guys? So I had a lot of small business owners reach out to me and ask me the same question. They want to stay open. They don't know how. I'm going to simplify it. 3 easy things you just have to be aware of, okay? The first thing is to expect resistance and expect nonsense. Cops may come. Sheriffs may come. Health department may come.
I got another letter from you, too. This one's not open yet. I just opened a bunch, and so there's 2 letters from Denmark Bear. Why, thank you.
County, whatever. Expect them to come. Expect them to give you a hard time. They may even hit you with some fines. They may try to give you a citation. You'll be able to fight that in court. That's a better option than losing your business, okay? Second thing, very, very important. You need clearly marked on the doors and on the windows of your business this sign right here. Screenshot it. Make one of your own. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. We have them all over. And basically it is a notice to any government official. If they are here on government duty, they are not permitted access to our business without a warrant. Plain and simple, okay? Put your phone number on it and tell them that they cannot come in. If they call and they are present, you can meet them outside and discuss whatever business it is outside of the property. You do not have to let them in without a warrant. Don't let them in without a warrant. Third step is real simple. Open your business. You're good, man. Have a good night. Boom, that easy.
Isn't that great? All right, so there's some good questions in the chat. Someone said, should I be worried about my mortgage payment is only $1,400 a month, will take 20 to 25 years to pay it off, but cheaper than rent? No, it's not about being worried about stuff. It's not about, whatever financial situation you find yourself in right now, this is what you have to ask yourself, and this is what you should tell yourself. If I lose my job, if things get hard, how much money do I need a month? And then ask yourself, how much money do I owe somebody? And then ask yourself, what could then happen? And that could be doing jobs that you feel are below you economically and socially. That's the least of your problems. That's fine. Doing jobs that are evil. That's the problem. So, advice for you, that doesn't sound very threatening. It's better to get out of debt, but when you think 25 years in the future, you're always thinking, I'll just have a job for 25 years. Really look at your job and say, is this stable? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and so the thing that always happens is, if you owe money that you can't pay back, are you willing to go lower with the type of job? Like, I've known people from the Middle East that were doctors who are cab drivers in America because they experienced exactly what's coming to America right now. A lot of countries have. That's why you'll meet doctors in America that are cab drivers. And so that's a route. And so if you can accept that and you can go that route, great. But if you owe so much that the only route is evil that you see, and you're not willing to do that, then you're going to have to accept a pretty rough deal. And so that's what you're facing. Sounds cheaper to rent. Yeah. And don't assume that home prices are always going to go up. People have been living on a debt-based bubble since the baby boomers. And people, like, you have to understand, it's all fake. So if people buy an $800,000 house being like, well, in a year it'll be worth $1 million. Do not assume that. There's a really good chance in a year it's worth and someone, Honkler Bear, honk, brought in his mild retardation, but I get where his head's at, where he said they're going to use the financial collapse to bring in communism. There already is communism. You live in you live in a communist country. America is more communist than Russia or China. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? I'm a retard. Okay, so what they're trying to bring in is they're trying to acquire more slaves. That's it. And so it's all based on finances. So let's say you buy a house for $1 million and you put down $200,000 because you know it's going to be worth $1.2 million. Okay. So if it goes down and you get a loan at a very reasonable rate, you get a loan for $800,000. The bank says, I'll give you $800,000 if you pay me back at an interest rate, which is illegal in the Bible. Just letting you know that. Not just the Quran, guys. Your Bible says not to do that. And there's a very, very specific reason. It's because central banking is communism. Yeah, but communism doesn't really mean anything specifically. It's kind of spell-oriented. It's just kind of like you don't own it. We'll do a whole stream on it. This stream, I wanted to focus mostly on Zoolander, but I am going to give some financial advice because I'm not going to tell you how to make money or how to invest in whatever. I'm just going to let you guys know. What about filing for bankruptcy? I don't know much about bankruptcy. I know you can't file for bankruptcy for student loans, but I guess you can file for bankruptcy. Yeah, filing for bankruptcy. I don't know. I don't know what the ins and outs are of that. I have to think about that more, like, ethically and what that means and all that. If it's a way out, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just trying to explain something about a loan. So, because filing for bankruptcy, you still lose your house, guys. Okay, so let's say you have all the money you have is $200,000 cash. Should I do it I'll do it 20 grand. I'll stop sounding like a snob. So let's say you buy a $100,000 house and you have $20,000 in cash. You've been working really hard and you've saved up, and that's a 20% down payment, which is very reasonable. Oh, I think it's very reasonable. Oh, Jesus, I'm waking up again. So the bank gives you $80,000, but you have to pay back about $150,000 over the next 30 years. That's kind of how it works, a fixed rate. And so, does anybody know where it is in the Bible about interest loans? Yeah, it's called usury. Usury. Just do a keyword search unless your Bible has had the word usury removed. It's one of the bad ones, guys. One of the real bad ones. If your Bible has had mentions of usury in the Bible taken out, you're going to something called a synagogue. A synagogue and synagogue. Anyway. Oh, Jesus, I'm waking up again. I got to stay focused. I've got to stay out of the chat. Okay, so $100,000. All your money is 20 grand. It's a lot of money. Your savings. Oh, this is it. Which Don said his rent is $800 a month. That would be, that's $10,000 a year. That would be 2 years of rent. 2 years of rent. Okay, so all your money, you're great. 20K down. No, we can get you a bigger home than 100K. No, I'm talking, that is the bigger home. 20K should get you a $20,000, $10,000 piece of land and a yurt, guys. Like, don't take loans, and I'll explain right now why. So you give them 20 grand, they give you 80. You got to pay back 150 grand over 30 years. Okay, let's say the house is now worth 80. But that's the price of your entire loan. So you sell it, and then you have to pay your realtor 6%. So that's $1,600. So then you're down. No, more than that. Sorry, I'm 8%, 10% would be 8,000. No, less. So, 6. I don't know. 6 times $4,800. Okay, so if you sell your home now for 80 grand, you have to pay your realtor around $5,000, staging, all that stuff. So now it's 75. So now your 20,000 is gone, and you now owe the bank $5,000. Okay, so if you can't pay them what you owe them, and you file bankruptcy, which a lot of people see as a way out, this is where they get you. They get all your savings. Because that $20,000 that you put in, that you think is equity in the home, if you can't pay them back, they get that. And so now you owe them another $5 grand. So then you file bankruptcy, and now you can't get a loan, and you don't have any money. All your savings went there. And this always happens when you can't pay the mortgage. Mortgage means death grip. Exodus 22, 25 to 27. Thank you. So this is why it's bad. So let's say a $100,000 home, your mortgage may be $600 a month. Okay, let's say you're making $2,000 a month. $600 is your mortgage. You have $1,400 for car payment, school payment, food. Your food starts going down in quality. You know, you have no ability to save or get into gardening or anything like that, or like work on yourself. Or your ability, because you have to pay that $600 to the bank, $400 to the college, even though you didn't make any more money because of the college degree. You're working at Starbucks, and you really need that job at Starbucks. This is when the evil comes in. So now you can't lose your job at Starbucks, or else you'll lose your house, which has all your money in it. So you'll wear the mask, and you'll tell everyone else to wear the mask. This is how Satan gets his minions, because you justify it in your head and say, well, I can't go back to nothing. That's allegedly false. I don't know what you're talking about. Proverbs 28:8. Whoever multiplies his wealth by interest and profit gathers it for him who is generous to the poor. Just trust me. Trust me. Usury is bad. Compound interest is outlawed in the Bible. Right grips the shaft. The left gets 30 years. Right. So right now, if you're in debt, it's okay. It's totally fine. Most people are in debt. You know, if I can't pay my property tax, they take this. Okay, you understand that. But I would still have the opportunity of selling it. So let's say this is what you're looking at in the future. You're not looking at the dollar being worth nothing. You're not, in the next year or two, the derelict that's coming, you're not looking at the dollar being worth nothing. You're not looking at Mad Max breaking out and people destroying the Capitol Dome and all. No. You're looking at $1 million home, potentially, I'm just giving examples. $1 million home being worth $500,000. Let's say the real estate market goes down by half. Okay, so now you have everybody that has $800,000 in loans now not only lost their original $200,000, but they now owe the bank more money, and they're waiting and hoping that it goes back up so that they can sell it and get their money back. Now, what if it doesn't ever go up? What do you have now, ladies and gentlemen? You have yourself a slave. So why do people do that evil shit? Because they justify it to themselves. They say, well, my family, I get it, dude. I faced the same fucking thing already. That's why I know all this. Play ball, or you won't be able to tour in the comedy clubs, and your child will starve, right? It's fucking demonic. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I willing to do what I know to be evil to get money to pay back this slave owner? That's the problem. And so the best way to do this is to not get in debt. The second best thing to do is pay off your debts. Okay, and then as you're doing it, you're lowering your potential of being really fucked. It's like that's why these doctors are so evil. Because they spend $300,000, $400,000 on a degree that they now have to pay back. Who do you think pays the doctors' salaries? Pharmaceutical companies, vaccine companies. So why would a doctor be financially incentivized to not look at truther channels? Because the minute they realize that we have a point about what's in vaccines, they get terrified because they owe so much money. That's why it's so expensive to become a doctor. That's why it's so expensive to become a lawyer. That's why it's so expensive to become all these things, because they might be driving Audis and living in mansions and all that shit. But you have more than them if you're not in the amount of debt that they're in. They are slaves. So if you can't pay cash as rent, yeah, or just try to pay it off faster. Guys, I'm not like crazy. I'm not like, I know that I've had a financial windfall lately that's been awesome, and I've been able to pay off my wife's debt and my debt. Great. I'm not saying I'm not retarded. Like, I know how hard it is. I know that you might only have 100 extra, 200 extra. That's why I get mad at people who send me money when I don't think they have money. It's one thing if you understand, if someone's really dialed into like blessings and like, I want to support something good, I can afford this, blah, blah. But I'm really get mad when people do it when they're just ignorant and they're not. If you give me money that and you're in debt and you're getting yourself more in debt, you are entering an upside down world where you're not going to be as helpful to your neighbors and your family and the bears and your nation and God. And that is a net negative. I'm one of the only people on the internet, literally, and it's so funny that people, it's not even funny. It's like when people call me like a scam artist or something, show me another channel that literally is telling people when not to give them money. So I'll wait. Oh, but that's a super duper scam. No, the fuck it isn't. I'm like mean about it. I like shame people about it. Because there's a lot of people who can afford it. There's a lot of people who can support. There's a lot of people who can tip the piano man when they enjoy this and they know what value is. And there's some people that do not understand what debt is. And so I'm trying to explain it. I would never say anything. And I appreciate that, Don. And I'm the same way. You know, I'm the same way. Support what you like. You know, it's like, it's important to support what you like in your community. And this is the only way I make a living is P.O. Box donations and unauthorized.tv. That's it. And lemons, but I share those. I make those rain. But and I'm doing quite well. But just understand that's it. That's how I make a living. I'm not even allowed to rent out my house on Airbnb anymore. So that's just a financial loss. I'm not complaining. I'm doing fine. But if you're in a position where you have to pay off your debts, I want you to do that first. So my answer to that dude before I start reading these letters is that debt is very not scary. Mortgage debt, low interest mortgage debt that's around the same amount as rent when you have a stable job is not very scary. You're gonna sell? Yeah, it's already in the works. Which and God always, I'm not gonna speak for God. Life seems to always take you in the right row when you hold your ground. You get kicked off of Airbnb, you sell your house because you can't rent it. The market collapses a year later in that area. Happened to me in LA. My LA apartment that I sold because I was trying to get my wife out of debt, and then later it kept going up in value, and I'm like, But I knew that I was like, I have a mortgage on it. I want to pay my wife's debt. I'm selling it. Right now, that condo I sold is worth like half in LA. No one wants to live in West Hollywood anymore. Whether or not they want to admit it or not, those moral decisions will always benefit you. You think closing down shop to play ball with the devil benefits you? No. You can't play ball with these people. You stay open. Don't be violent. Don't do anything crazy. Work within the system, but figure it out. Have a private gym. Start giving lessons in people's houses. You will always end up better. Your advice has helped me make more money. Thanks. Yeah, and that's why I openly be like, dude, if I helped your life, if I helped you, then tip me. Then throw me some gravel for my babble. If you find this helpful and it's useful, if you're desperately in debt, don't fucking tip me. There's plenty of people that support the chat. But if you honestly, like I helped get you off drugs or I helped you get a family and you're doing much better and you see the world clear, yeah, then tip me. P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho 83864. The world isn't ending, guys. It's a financial the water is receding. It's like tides. When a tide pulls back, a tide goes out, a tide comes in, a tide goes out, a tide comes in. This is the nature of financial volatility. Do not think that this means the world's ending, that these pigs had a scam. This is constant. So what's happening is the water's receding, and so now you see who's wearing pants. Like, let's say you got a bunch of people wading in the water in the ocean, and some people aren't wearing pants, but you don't know who's not wearing pants. You have no idea. But then the water pulls back, which it always happens. It's always cycling. And now you're left seeing the people that were never wearing pants to begin with. And then there's people that are fine. That's what you're facing, guys. This is not I know Honker Bear likes to get people going, but when someone says they're bringing in communism, you picture like goose-stepping Stalin and everything. No, that's not what's happening. These things all happen simultaneously. Will some people go to gulags? 100%. We already have gulags. They're called prisons. You can't pay the tax man. You can't pay the bank. There used to be something called debtor's prison. There's always been quote-unquote gulags. It's nothing new, guys. So what does that mean? It means don't live outside your means. And community is strength. Your friends. Love thy neighbor as yourself. Like, I'm about to, I'm hanging out with some dudes tonight, and we're going to talk about my buddy's gym up here who they're trying to mess around with, and I'll go there anytime they want. If there's anybody there, I'll video it, I'll live stream it. I'll be a witness to somebody standing up for their rights, because you love thy neighbor as thyself. If somebody's having hard times, or somebody needs a witness or advice, or you can teach my kids, or let's get you some work, you do that. Because if you don't, do it for the right reasons, but that's strength. That's strength. And if you hold out and you don't take those huge loans, and ask yourself, did you take a big loan because you were trying to grow your business? Be honest. Now is not the time to lie to yourself. Did you take a big loan because you could grow your business? You had the best intention. You wanted more future stability for your family, and you really it is what it is. Or did you want stuff? Or did you want to do what Sloth and all those characters in that book did? You didn't want to work. You wanted a nicer house than your neighbor or your dad or your brother or something. And don't lie to yourself. Because if you did it because you really wanted for others and you wanted to grow something good, you're in a much better position. Intention is very important. If you did it because you wanted sex, or you were greedy or lazy or any of the deadly sins, it's going to be harder. And you're not done. You're not fucked at all. But right now, it's you got to really be honest with yourself and say, did I take loans to get more equipment at my gym so that I could open, and I didn't have the money at first? And it's not ideal, but it's that's much different. You're in a much stronger spiritual position than if you, BB, I took a 1.99% Corona loan to pay off an 8% loan when my credit wasn't very good. That's smart. You're always trying to lower your debt. Just if you can get a 1% to pay off an 8%, and then you can pay that back. Dude, it's not that if you take debt, you will go to hell. It's about weakness. Want to know what makes you go to hell? You don't go to hell until you do that which you know is evil for money. So right now, if you're okay, I'm stuck in this job because I can't pay off this debt and blah, blah. And then they're okay, you got to go inject. I'm just going to use something that everyone knows is bad. You got to go into people's houses and forcibly inject them with a vaccine.
Critical hit.
And you're dude, I don't want to do that. It's really evil. It's well, then you'll be fired. It's man, I got to pay $800 a month. And if you do that, you're in hell. Your soul is now damned. There's always ways out. There's always ways out, but you can't negotiate that. You can't be well, I'll do it for a little while. I'll just inject a few people. It's once you realize something's evil and you want nothing to do with it and you know it hurts people, the more you do it to get money to pay your debt, the less you can hear and feel God's word. And then you see these people with no ability to hear or understand God. It's a process. It's not the first time, the second time. It's slow, but it's a callousing of your soul's ability to connect with God on a personal level. And so that's why sin is missing the mark. Now rise again, do it again. Yeah. But when it gets mortal sins, is when you miss the mark, you're in debt, you have problems. You see how the world is. is why a lot of people get really, really scared of truthers. Because once they see it, they know that they have to change things in their life. Like once you understand what it is, you're like, okay, I have to make some changes. It's a lot harder to like at first it was daunting homeschooling our kids or milking our goats or any of this stuff. But like once I knew what was in milk or what was in the schools, I had to. Now I can't imagine not doing it. I can't imagine shipping my kids off all day long. I love being around my kids. We have such a close bond. They're learning so much. My 4-year-old speaks Latin. It's like you're always set free when you get past fear and get past money. And I know it sounds might be nice, easy said than done. I have friends right now. It's like $9 grand unless you close. Well, if I close, I'll go out of business, and it's fucking stressful. And I'll help them any way I can, and I'll give any advice I can because I've been there. I drank a lot. I got mad. But like, don't kneel. Like you will end up in a better place. God always provides. Always. You'll get low. You'll get to a point where you don't know if you have any friends anymore. You know, you don't know where the check's going to come in. You don't fucking know. It's scary. But trust me, it's a lot scarier if you commit what you know to be evil on other people for money to pay off your debt. Now that you know Trump is like Zoolander, if you waste energy on politics and say, well, I mean, if Zoolander gets in, and he's like, guys, I'm about to win with Orange Steel. And Biden's like, come on, man. None of it matters. If Trump really had your back, if Biden really had your back, all they'd be talking about right now is how small businesses can succeed. Right now, America's facing a collapse of the middle class. And not all middle class. It's not all or nothing, guys. If somebody's out of debt, if somebody has a really loyal clientele, if somebody's in that position, you skate right over it. It's like us. We put in the infrastructure, unauthorized. All my friends know exactly who I am. I'm not reliant on agents. I'm not reliant on any of these wicked-ass people that burnt me for saying what I believe to be true and for standing for what I believe to be true. And now I'm fine. They're not fine. Those people are not fine right now. They're all in debt. They're all miserable. They don't know why the world is happening. They say, Orange Man bad. Orange Man savior. Orange Man devil. Orange Man shit. And I'm just like, guys, he's Derek Zoolander. Oh, so Biden's good? That's Hansel. All right, let's read some letters. So I hope that was helpful. So don't even be scared of your debt. Just know what position it puts you in. Your savings are in a house that can be repossessed if the market tanks. And they'll be like, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we have a contract. And then, you know, it's a mistake to blame the banker and say, well, you tricked me. Really? Now that I'm telling you this, it's even harder to say that they tricked. It's like, that's the contract. And I know that they're fucked up. I know the grab war is miserable and the grab war is like very satanic. I know that. That's why the best thing to do is stay out of their realm as best as you can and to get yourself a really good community where you live. Extortion, essentially? No, you fucking bought it, dude. How much of the world has 3-bedroom houses? Like, don't lie, man. And it doesn't hurt me, dude. I'm only yelling a little bit because I just want people to get it. Do you and your wife both need a car? Like, really? I have to pay off the debt for the car, so I need the car so that I can pay the debt for the car. So I'm just like, bam, wake up. Like, snap out of that shit. The community and sheriff is huge, yeah. And it's like, dude, you don't need all the shit you have. You don't. I live in a much more squalor-like position than half the people saying must be nice to be me. I live in 600 total square feet of living space in a barn with 3 children and a wife that used to know a much higher standard of living. Okay? So, like, I don't want to hear it from people when they're like, must be nice. Yeah, I don't have any debt. I bought this with cash. Must be nice. Yeah, you wouldn't have bought a barn with 600 square feet. You would have bought 3-4 bedroom in a nice neighborhood, and you'd have it. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I live lower than you. Not a lot of you guys live in the same little room as 3 children and your wife. It used to be a washroom. We converted it. It was a washroom in a barn, basically a closet. We live in bunk beds. Must be noise. Must be noise. It's just crazy. And I couldn't be happier. My family's so fucking happy. You can get one of these sheds and convert it to a house. Put a fucking wood stove in it. You know how many things burn? It's like, dude, live like the... Okay, remember how you fantasize and oil your gun with your patriots? Talking about how like America used to be so free and based. Look at how they lived. They all had gardens. They all had chickens. They all lived in a much smaller area. They all wore a lot of clothes because they didn't have electric heating. Look at how they lived. What is actually holding you down is debt and services. Those services you don't need to have. And that's a fact. Must be nice. Dude, families are better when they're together more. They're better when oh, I have to pay for Johnny's boarding school and my wife's yoga where she's getting plowed by the guy with the ponytail, or else how are we supposed to have a cohesive family? I mean, I work an hour and a half away so I can pay off this giant fucking house. I mean, must be nice. And my kids are always gone. That's why they all end up gay and on heroin. And my wife's just getting fucked by her trainer. I mean, this is why I need so much money. All right, dear Big Bear. 2 to 3 years ago, I quit watching porn. I knew it was sinful and as shit every time I ever watched it, and was embarrassed and disgusted with myself every time I closed up my masturbatorium. So why quit? It was the ridicule. I know, that's why I do it. You see, it works. Ridicule is fucking powerful. Little squirt boys. We need this on a large continuing amounts. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. We don't need to be on CNN. That's for the meat puppets. Someone like me would fucking break their brain. Like, I don't even want to be there. I don't want to be with the masses. The quote-unquote masses. And I'm starting to understand why they're called masses. Because they're fucking retarded. They're like, must be nice. I like my little corner of the world. So thank you for ridiculing me over the internet. Man, I've been planning on acquiring some new land to grow food on for many years, but was paralyzed by indecision and fear of imperfect action. Fuck that. Nice! Fucking nice. Real revolution won't be televised. It's revelation. Revolution is a circle around a spinning fucking wheel. Fuck revolution. Revelation. And no, of course it won't be televised. As I watched you build your place in Washington, I became more something and confident that I could pull it off. I purchased 5.5 acres in South Missouri. Dude, I love Missouri. Missouri might be the best state to live in when it comes to laws. They're the only state that has a law that the federal government can't do anti-gun laws.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
It's beautiful. I was going to float you $400 for Ursa Rio and come to the conclusion that the best thing I could do for myself, you, and all the bears was get my own shit. Talk about synchronicity. How often does someone write that in a letter, and how often do I rant about it? So we're looking at 1 in millions, if you do all the stats. First letter I read, right after me ranting about this. That's exactly what I want. Exactly. Your thoughts on this, please. Already said them. Because time is not linear. Quick math story. Context. I have not worn a mask as I too saw this BS 1,000 miles away. I'm a welder, construction worker. I'm on the road. Yeah, by the way, those type of jobs are way more stable. You should be worried. Not worried, but you should get the fuck out of debt as fast as you can. Sell that house of yours and get something more reasonable. If you're in like upper middle class, white collar nonsense, and you know if you have nonsense. If you're a driver, if you're construction, plumber, you grow shit, you make shit, like security, dude, metalsmith, fucking bookbinding, all that shit is stable. Not only is it stable, you're going to have a increase in your ability to crush. This is not the end of anything. This is the beginning of a lot of people's like crush. Nurse, I don't know. If you know how to switch it over to private, I have no idea what the medical world is in. No idea. Here's a special diamond. What, thank you. Teachers, only if you understand. No, teachers, no. Only if you understand how to potentially teach kids privately. Then you can literally potentially have a way better career. You're being underpaid right now. Hello? Does anyone have any questions for my beautiful wife? Forklift driver, great. Dude, any of that stuff is gold. Anything that you can literally see something good come from it, I'm talking about nonsense work. I'm government paid, so I guess I'm screwed. No, that's not true, Denmark Bear. Because you're screwed. We'll talk about that another time. You got a heart of gold. All right. Any questions for my wife? Because she's about to bail. Being a private homeschool teacher would be awesome. Yeah, exactly. Personal trainers, great. As long as you know how to do it outside of the confines of brick and mortar. I sell cloud services. All right. Amy, ready for number 4?
Yeah. I'd love to have a 4.
Yeah. There should be a lot of parents wanting a home. Yeah. All right. I won't waste your time with stuff. I love you. All right, let me just keep reading here. But just think, do you bring value to people? Do you bring value to people? Like Denmark Bear, there's a lot of dudes out there that really want some anal penetration. They don't want to admit they're gay. So, like, you got yourself, you have one of the most anti-fragile jobs I can possibly imagine. Denmark Bear's like, you don't want to get cancer at 40 in your asshole, do you? And they're like, no. And he's like, and they're like, oh, this is for my health. Oh, Jesus. So I actually think you might be, because it deserves a vodka. Get out of here, Denmark Bear. You know I love you. You're like one of my favorite people. It's because you can take the vodka. It's really funny. And it also is based around my own, my wife wants me to get prostate exams. I won't do it. Well, they adopt a bitch from my wife, yeah. I'm a welder, construction worker. I'm on the road, and 99% of the city is wearing a mask. Look at that man. There are 8 guys from Georgia on my crew, all wear masks when we go to lunch together. I didn't even bring one, as I don't own one. The first 2 days we all go to eat, the girls in the burger joint kind of harassed me a little about my no mask, after they ovulated. But I was super nice about it and smiling a lot, and of course they just served me my food like a normal guy. No one on my crew ever said a word about it, but I could see the shame in their eyes. Nice. This guy's on about day 3, one by one, they began to leave masks in the trucks when we ate lunch. As soon as it was the 9 of us going into restaurants to eat all over Nashville, and no one anywhere had the nerve to say a word to us about any of it. Dude, exactly. That's why I keep telling you, community, community, community. You walk in with 9 dudes dressed like construction workers and none of you are wearing masks, no one will say a fucking word to you. You're alone, you're a woman, you look scared. Yeah, the sadists will come out in droves. And this world's full of sadists, guys. They love the pain of others. That's hot coffee. Oh, Jesus. Conclusion, they just needed a leader. Yes, that's why they hate leaders. That's why evil people hate people like me. Because they're like, that's why they keep trying to shut me down everywhere. Because all it takes is one guy to go, this is dumb. And everyone's like, rubble. No, I don't want to be the only one that doesn't see it's dumb. Just like how I mock people for watching porn. All it takes is just a few guys to be like, if you watch porn, you're gay. And people are like, I don't want to be gay. Flip side, my evangelical Christian family thinks I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist, and when I'm home, they wear masks in public against my wishes. Go figure. It's my mother and grandfather, not my wife and kids. Your thoughts? I'd like to see their search histories. I would like to invite any bears to do website shit to fix my website up good. I just got a BS thing from GoDaddy, and I hate messing with it. But I put my contact info up there so I can get some welding side jobs going on the weekends. I'm on the Bear Trail, in Southwest Missouri as the Happy Bear Homestead. I'm on Instagram as at @the_real_ Scott E. Rose. SCOTTEROSE. The website is www.grindingallmylife.com. Bears can go there and look at how a first grade level it is and contact me with a price for setting me up properly. It would be greatly appreciated. I actually got a guy. To wrap up, I am Huggy Bear, verified years ago, but now that there is something of tens of thousands of bears, please remind the internet that if they try to usurp my name, I will hunt them down. 22 Rogans, Viking German, fuck around and find out. Much love, Scott. Yeah, you are Huggy Bear. No one's gonna fuck with you. Excellent letter. All right. Dear Big Bear, thank you for all you have done. You've given me a new purpose in life and ambition to achieve it. I found you around the start of the Holocaust, but I fell for the big squirt. My goal is to leave the narrative and find a job that allows that, hopefully my own construction business one day. Speaking of that, I'm calling all bears and Bear Vibe. I made a post looking for work. I'm unsure how being verified works. Just ask and you get verified. Go to the Great Bear Trail too. There's a whole section there about looking for work. So I hope it isn't a big deal that I put my name as Ordinary Bear. Welcome, Ordinary Bear. If you could verify me such, that would be great. If that is taken, Ordinary Bear or Ordinary Bear, you're good. I encourage more bears to use Bear Vibe. Yeah, Bear Vibe's great. I recently finished reading the book The Road by Cormac McCarthy. A light, interesting read. I wonder if you're being sarcastic. It's not very light. The father, like 3 comments about how he sees God in his son and how if he is not the word of God, then God is dead, referring to his son. Doesn't his son die? Reading that made me think of the way you talk. Dude, there's no way you think The Road is light reading. It's like the darkest book ever written. Talking about the importance of our children in relation to God, it gave me chills thinking over what I had read. Yeah, it's very, very, very true, but that book is crazy. Similarly, my nephew is 5, but quite bright for a 5-year-old, and while I'm not entirely aware of the depth of my sister has taken teaching him something, I do know some of the things he says are profound. Yeah, definitely. If that's light reading, I need to see your library. He has no shame and speaks of God like he is the answer to all of his questions, but sometimes he explains things using God, and it will blow our mind. Hard to articulate, but I hope some people have related. Yeah, totally. It is good to see that light in him and gives me hope for generations to come. Yeah, exactly. That'd be nice. Your gravy on time being linear, amazing. You have the ability to see things in a way that I would not in 100 years. Being in the end of times and creation, you've done it again. You've gotten me heavier into religion and out of politics. For that, I am forever grateful. I'm a 24-year-old male, 6'3", not going to degrade my toes by calling them Rogans. Southeastern Wisconsin. Any bears in the area willing to get me into hunting and harvesting my own food, that would be bearific. Please add my Instagram, Mick Wire, MICWEYER. Hope you and the family are well. Here is some gravel for the babble, and I'm off to the gravel copter. P.S. I hope to meet you one day, but even though I'm only virtually met you, I love you and look forward to spreading your message. Obviously, thank you. Very, very sweet. Very nice. I'd have to be so angry about the same thing. Obviously, thanks. Dear Big Man, I heard you on Crow's show, and I heard the puzzlement in your voice when you and the commentator were discussing how Disney could buy Star Wars franchise and how they could knowingly ruin it, run it into the ground, and lose money. Coincidentally, I remember that I saw this headline the same day. Disney suffers first annual loss in more than 40 years, but stock jumps as losses are not as bad as feared. Could it be synchronicity? I felt compelled to write you once more and help connect the dots and bring back to the tribe what I learned on my journey. The headline is a clear misdirection of the truth, as a company should not have their stock go up when they lose money. It's illogical and it's inversion. But we see it all the time in the stock market for many different reasons, some of the mechanics of which I will get into. I'll start with an interaction I had with a customer once in my store. The customer was a regular, and we started talking about how some of my big-name competitors could sell stuff so much cheaper than me, to the point that it was obviously at a loss. I explained that I was a private business and had to make a profit every year, or close to it, to stay in business. However, the big-name businesses that are public are listed on the stock exchange, and they do not have to make a profit, and they can lose money year in and year out almost indefinitely and never go out of business because they can be financed by the public by transfers from the government or selling shares, which is a huge and almost unbeatable competitive advantage for them. Interesting. Now you may say that they can't sell stock forever as it increases the shares outstanding and lowers the share price, but the truth is they can. And a share goes up as long as there is demand for it, i.e. as long as it is favored. And since this type of wealth is currently concentrated in the hands of a few, the same few putting forward this anti-man, anti-woman, anti-logos, anti-God agenda, then as long as these public companies execute the agenda of these demons, then companies like Disney can lose money forever and never go out of business. In this example, the Devil Mouse lost $2.83 billion. In the after-hour peak, however, their stock price jumped 9 points in the after-hour peak, which was worth $16 billion. They made almost $13 billion being bad and following the agenda. Right. It doesn't go on forever, though. All right. Combine that with my previous letter and how the Federal Reserve steals via inflation and redistribution. Yeah, but yeah. To those with that, oh yeah, I remember this dude's letter. That letter was fucking amazing. Steals via inflation and redistribution of those with assets via price increase is mathematical rebalancing. Then you can see that Disney can keep pumping out cultural poison and never suffer the financial cost of it. Instead, with or without our consent, technically, it was with our consent via our desire for stimulus in the most recent case. We funded them and every other public company up to no good to the tune of $1.65 trillion in M1 from October 19 to October 2020. So you may say, what about the $4 billion that Disney paid for the Star Wars purchase? Aren't they losing that by running that brand into the ground? No. In fact, whether they lose money with the Star Wars franchise or make money with it, they will get approximately $4 billion in deductions over 10 years, intangible asset amortization period, against their taxable income from the government. In simple terms, if you eliminate the amortization table period, if Disney had $4 billion in pre-tax income, and they could deduct all $4 billion in the same year, it would reduce their taxable income to zero. In essence, they could make $4 billion and say they made nothing. In essence, Disney didn't pay anything for Star Wars, the U.S. government did. And through the U.S. government, the earned income tax payers via an invisible liability transfer, U.S. Treasury funded by selling bonds to the Fed, and the true tax collected from the earned income earners used to pay the interest on the debt, so the Fed is holding. That's why they call the stock market public finance or going public. So here's the gravy. All right. Next time you hear someone say that Twitter, Facebook, Google, etc. are private companies and can do what they want on their platforms, remember that they and all other companies on the stock market are companies that have gone public and are even currently being financed by we the people and our government, and they are not private. Please break this spell further as it is in plain sight. Wow. Yeah, it's very in plain sight. I'll take it a step further and make it more relatable. Keep the numbers round. Imagine you receive $400,000 in income to buy Bertaria, of which $100,000 was used to pay, quote unquote, the taxes at a 25% tax rate, and $300,000 was used to buy the land. What you could have seen is in your tax return is that the purchased land will be amortized, depreciated over 27.5 years, which means that you will receive $10,909 in deductions per year. Or said in other words, you could earn $10,000 per year for 27.5 years and not pay any taxes on it. Or said in another words, you are giving the government a $100,000 loan today, which they will pay back to you as a tax return of $300,000 over 27.5 years. Because you now own land, you are a landlord and asset owner, and you can see how asset owners don't pay taxes. The wealthy asset owners always have their taxes returned with interest unless they're stupid. I may be stupid. In this example, the time value, because I have no idea that I could do that. In this example, the time value of money calculation says that you are earning approximately 21.33% in interest per year from the government, and on a return on investment basis, 200%. However, the true return on investment is actually infinite, as the math we have been taught is a lie, but which I can explain at a later date if you are interested. Jesus. So here are the questions. Is it immoral to loan currency, or in this case, is it immoral to give loans to the government in currency since currency isn't money? Dude, I have no idea. Is it immoral to borrow currency? Is currency truly debt or something else? Dude, you're blowing my fucking mind right now. Could we not pay taxes on the religious exemption that making and taking loans is immoral? Is anyone truly harmed when we don't pay back the magic squares, or for that matter, was anything actually lent, given up, when a loan of currency is made? As magic squares are as substantive as pixie dust, did the controllers break God's law by operating in the substrata, possibly 6 feet under of man's laws, which encompasses Admiralty law, commerce law? I'm already out. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I know that this is pure gravy. Robert Fox said it well when he said he got true title to his car and not a certificate of title when he paid in gold. Are any of us truly in debt? What? I won't give financial advice, but I will say that through my career, I've not paid many debts. I also have sued a bank that lied and was partly responsible for the failure of one of my businesses and won. Out of 3 lawyers, 2 said I didn't have a case, and the third said maybe. And since I was not going to take it lying down, I found an existing case against the bank that was similar, and it turned it into a class action. Dude, this guy might have an IQ of like 1,000. Also, Trump has many flaws, and I'm skeptical as to him doing the right thing. However, I think he knows this stuff, as he once used an act of God argument to get out of paying approximately $300 million in property development loans. I think he can negotiate the recapitalization of this country during this martial law period quite easily. That'd be nice. Derek Zoolander. But the question is, will he? It's not about him, it's about the people who control him. I guarantee that Trump didn't think up the act of God thing. It's like, oh, Trump, do this. And he's like, no way, it's been an act of God? And everyone's like, wow, what a genius. And he's like, thanks for the tip, Ira. He's like, no problem. He seems quite willing to let people harm themselves, but isn't that what a good father is supposed to do? I don't view Trump as a father, but I get what you're saying. I mean, I think you may be a fucking genius. Hopefully this helps the Bears be more prosperous as warlords and landlords and leave the victim consciousness of paying taxes or being in debt. Sincerely, Van Camping Bear. I cannot advise anyone to not pay taxes because I have no idea what that means. It seemed profound, but my mind, I'm a smart dude, and my mind could not handle that great. And so it could be nonsense, or it could be like, a macro pressure. Yeah, totally. I still think Trump might become president. I don't know, though. We got to analyze the scripts. It could have gone, I don't know, though. It's like the Rudy hair polish. It seems like the script got a little lost out of the Trump narrative, but Zoolander is an underdog story. Van Camping Bear. I do have a very good tax guy. Maybe he knows about this shit. I have no idea. I did not know I could write off all that shit, though. Dear Owen, Sean E. Bear here. Just went to apologize for not making it clear that the Bitcoin I sent you had already been cashed in. Oh, we figured it out. Thanks a lot now. I wasn't messing with you or anything like that. Apologize to Guy and Bear and anyone else I caused to waste time looking into it. No, we learned a lot from it. I assumed you didn't send me $15,000. I sent it to show you that all Bitcoin is a string of letters and numbers. Again, sorry for the mix-up. Dude, are you kidding me? I learned a lot from that debacle. And Kyneton Bear needs to waste some time so he isn't just playing around with his buckets of dirt. Seriously, Shawnee Bear. Anytime. Dude, get out of here. I thought it was fascinating. I assumed that no one sent me 15 grand. Listen, I know that the Bears like me, but that's absurd. Oh, and thanks for another great week of streaming. I'm impressed how you were able to stream every day with captivating and thought-provoking ideas. Wait till you hear today's. Yes, I had some deep digging to figure it out. Yeah, but we all learned, didn't we, Kyington Bear? Didn't we, Kyington Bear? Don't act like that to Sean E. Bear. I did get to learn about Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. It was a fun adventure for us, wasn't it, Kyington Bear? Oh, sorry for taking you away from your buckets of dirt. I appreciate your hard work and dedication to your craft. I no longer stay awake until 2 a.m. chasing rabbit trails, trying to find the truth. I'm not being funny, thank you. What? That was really funny how you timed that. Changing gears, on Sunday, our pastor announced to a packed house with no mask they will not be closing the doors during this next shutdown in Washington. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. You would have thought we just won the Super Bowl. The hoots, howls, whistles, hand clapping, and high fives was overwhelming. Dude, everyone wants that. Dude, if you stand your ground, you will get an army immediately when you do it. And if you're a pastor and you're like, we're not closing, it's like those people will be like, aye, aye, Captain, where's our next? If they fucking take your physical church, 3D is bullshit too, by the way. This is all hologram. But if they take your physical church, you can find anywhere else that have a church. And they will fucking follow you to the end of time. And dude, if you're a pastor, trust me on this. If you cuck, no one cares. Before the first shutdown, our church had one service on Sunday that was 3/4 full and a small service on Wednesday. We are now at 2 Sunday services that are overflowing. People have to sit in the lobby, and Wednesday night service has doubled. Yeah, because a lot of people like me just don't say anything and just leave and they don't come back if you cuck. The pastor and I text each other a lot, and I always ask, what do you need me to do? Dude, exactly. Dude, Dirt Buckets saw that in me years ago, and he's been fucking crushing for me since day one. And all he wants to do is carry around his bucket of dirt. In the end, I have learned the church just needs to know you're available and they have your support. Yeah, and also, people will actively support shit that is good. If you are cucking for money or title, no one cares. They can leverage you to support them with fucking debt and shame. But like, dude, that church, if the church that I was going to hadn't addressed throne at all, except to be like, fuck that, dude, next time I would have brought in a handful of cash and been like, take it, please, and if you turn it down, I'll fuck you up. Do not deny me my blessing. But you don't want to support anybody that cuts. That's the old man Dirt Buckets. I just had a thought. Will you analyze this question? Why do people never ask for my help until shit is really fucked up? You know, the 2:30 a.m. phone call to bail them out of jail. Their house burns down and they call for help, or they make a big mistake and they need to get out of the situation. Wow. I never thought about it. What does that mean? Why doesn't anyone call for help to build a fence? Because they watch a lot of porn. I build power lines, for Christ's sake. I know how to set poles and string wire anyway. Dude, I get it. And people love being asked for help. Unless it's like they are in jail for beating someone up drunk. They watch a lot of porn. BB understands the mass psyche. Yeah, I instinctively know occult knowledge. I've never whacked off in a casket or anything. Oh, why are you always talking about whacking off? All your presidents pretty much had to whack off in caskets. It's time you knew. But I just naturally know this shit. I understand mass psyche very well. I understand what moves the people. All right, I'm a part of a group coalition to save all business in our county. Yes! I'm so excited. I think it's the coffee, though. Might just be the drugs I'm pumping into my gut right now. We have the backing of the sheriff, county commissioners, and county prosecutor. We had a great meeting at the county courthouse steps this week. One of our businesses got slapped with a fine from L&I. They hired a constitutional attorney. The attorney said L&I will not bother you again. Now we are purchasing shit we don't need from them to help cover their attorney fees. Awesome. I'm done. Have I ever told you I hate writing? Have a great day, Jason. Dude, Jason's the man. Dude, that's the fucking move. That's the move. I remember hearing Trevor talk about casket whacking, and I thought it was fake. No. Skull and Bones waxing their casket. Dear Yankee, allegedly here in England, we are in lockdown. Allegedly, you have to wear a muzzle on your
on your face in public, I beg to differ. The word no really is one of the most powerful things at our disposal. A little game, can you spot the bear in this picture? Regards, Excalibur. P.S. Britain is awesome, America is gay. P.P.S. I just got to the post office to get a tip, and they only have euros. I wouldn't insult you that way. We'll send a tip next time. Spot the bear. Yes! Dude, I love that picture. I fucking love that picture. Dude, look at that legend. And he literally did it, look. Britain is awesome, America is... Dude, I have a lot of respect for that British guy. It's like the first time ever that a British guy wasn't self-hating and obsessed with his mother and Mom is ashamed of me and what we did in the Empire. Knickers. It's fucking weird. That guy gets it though. He has masculinity. We're thankful for you being the best stream. Love your loyal bears, Dad Bear and his beautiful pregnant wife, Pitbull Suck Bear. I love it. Awesome family. Dear Big Bear, this is my first time writing, but I've been an active listener to the Gravy for the past 2 years now. It still amazes me as to how much of your life you have dedicated to the Bears and how much love you emit to those you have never met, but yet feel deeply connected to. That is a trait of an honorable man who sees the potential in others, as you've spoken about time and time again. Respectfully, I don't know if some of the people listening realize how challenging it is to speak for 2+ hours a day while maintaining coherent thoughts, while simultaneously learning and growing, while keeping it comical and not having people present physically to feed off their energy. However, I know everyone listening is honored to be a part of the journey with you. Thanks for appreciating it. I want to share a quick story about my son and my recommendation with God. My fiancée girlfriend at the time asked if having a life and family with her is what I truly wanted. Then I should take some time to think it through. That night I had a dream that I was walking on the beach and in front of me was a little boy. The sun broke through the clouds and this beautiful melody resonated in the sky. I told myself to remember that and I immediately started playing it on my guitar when I woke up. I showed my fiancée and she wept tears of joy. We weren't married, but we started trying and sure enough, she was pregnant with our son on the first try. I would play that song melody when he was in the womb over and over again. When he was born, I'd play it almost every day. The first time I saw him smile was when I began to play the song. I cried instantly because I knew that he heard me. I knew that he was my gift from God, and it was through the logos of music that we were able to speak. I share this story with you and the Bears because it has been with this community that I have rekindled my relationship with God, but also myself, and because of you all, I get to see my son smile, laugh, hit his milestone, say Dada with this purity in his eyes that melts my heart. So thank you, Big Bear, and thank you, Bears, for all that you do and all that you stand for. As I have not been officially verified, can I be verified as Present Awareness Bear? Welcome, Present Awareness Bear. Thanks again, BB. P.S. is a tip for the Piano Man, sincerely. Oh, no way. I love this guy. PAT Life, Awareness Bear. He's the dude that talks to Tom Barnett a lot. He has a great podcast. P.A.T. Patrick. Fucking great, buddy. I'm so happy for you. Really good guy. Like, he's got a really good, he did a stream with Tom Barnett about the hero's journey. Fucking great guy. I follow him on Instagram if anybody wants to find him. All right. What a beautiful letter. Greetings, Owen. Love and joy to all inhabitants of Versa Manor. Winter has made itself at home in this part of Alaska. Thankfully, it brought enough snow that I have shaken the dust from my snowshoes, and it has been an easy transition to the darkness and cold of the north. It's been a year since I relinquished the last of my heliocentric beliefs. As I wrote you shortly thereafter, when I finally cast off the globe spell, I felt God welcome me home. After a lifetime of stumbling through a mirage of deceit. Since that time, my sense of wonder for creation has returned.
and my awe for the Creator has grown. Thank you for prompting me to challenge that deeply ingrained illusion. You speak truth and humor into an electronic device mounted on a piano and ammunition crate, yet your influence has grown because you chase the path of truth, life, and beauty. I'm eternally grateful for your transparency and for publicly working through various issues in order to arrive at the truth. Well, you have castles to build, and I have a cigar to clip. So keep on trucking, brother. I'm in the boundless love of Jesus. Trout Whisper. Love it, buddy. Today's been a great day of letters. Hi, Big Bear. It has been a while since I sent last letter to you, and I figured I better get on it. I want to thank you for starting Beartaria, and with that, I have been blessed with having bears actually come see me. Smarty Bear drove 4 hours to pick up Phil Good Bear and Laconic Bear, and drove 2 more hours to come and visit me. We didn't know what to expect, so they got a hotel room. We had so much fun Friday, they came back Saturday morning. It was awesome because I can't do much, and Lacani Bear felt comfortable at my home. She made breakfast for everyone. It was such a wonderful time. The following Wednesday, Copper Bear and Fay Bear came and stayed the night at my house. They also got to meet Othea Bear, my nurse, and her husband. What an awesome time yet again. I just wanted to tell you how much that means to me. I can't get out anyway, and the lockdown wasn't a big thing for me to handle. But since then, I have seen one sister on my birthday back in August. My mother checks in on me once a week when Othea Bear isn't here. Other than that, no one has come to see me since March 11th. Bear is driving so far to see me only by what I say on your chat means the world to me. I've stretched my chatting to Discord to the Peak Bear has been helping me with that, Bear Church with Ohio Fire Bear, and also IG as much as possible. If I see a doggy that a bear has, I will try to draw it for them. I think I then will send a picture of it to see if they would like to have it. I'm not good enough to ask for money. My joy comes from their happiness when they get the picture. I think being in this community is where God wants me to be. I love the Bears so much as it made my life so full. Big Bears, because of you, I feel so happy that I finally belong. I love seeing Lord God work in your life, and He has blessed you with a beautiful family and animals to care for. I truly thank you for being in bed. Is not the best life, but every day I look forward to seeing you and watching you bless us with your talents. And to chat with the Bears is fun. Wheatley Bear is my brother from another mother. He better get up here and see me. AJ Rhino Bear is the coolest to share his talent and doesn't hold anything back. I love getting in on live IG streams with Ro Bear, Trina, and Jab Jab Bear. Unofficial Bear piano streams, I always can chat with Blonde Genius Bear. Sometimes I catch a weekend movie with the Bears on Coffee Roasting Bear or Shadow Mind Bear's D-Live channel. I finally was able to get on Discord and now a part of that awesome bear community, and Blonde Genius Bear has even started a girl bear chat now too. I can't leave out the bushwhacking bear of Beartaria, Berserker Bear. I love his YouTube channel and watch feeling like I am right there with him on a new adventure. I pray for the Bears daily. I have a door with a brown paper on it. I write names of everyone that has asked for prayers. I don't want to say names, but Jerusha McKinney Bear saw the picture of the door, and I will never stop praying for all of you. If you gave me your family member's name, it's on